A warm welcome to everyone. I am Sasivijaya from CSC department. Now I am going to tell about AWK in Linux. Coming to your introduction of AWK. So here AWK is a powerful tool and it is a text processing tool that is used for the pattern scanning and the processing. And it is mainly used for the processing of the text data from files and the command outputs. And it is commonly used for the tasks such as filtering, transforming and generating reports from the structured data. So here what is the structured data? So the data whatever we are having, that has to be formatted in a particular format or else in alignment, that is nothing but the structured data. So here what is the full form of, or else what is the abbreviation of AWK? So AWK is mainly it is formed because of the three creators. So first one is Aho, and the second one W. Weinberger, and the third one is Kernan. So these are the three persons who had created the AWK, who had developed the AWK. So this AWK can be developed in AT&T Bell Laboratories in the year of 1970s. So it was mainly designed for the data extraction and for the reporting of the data. So the primary function of this AWK is to process the structured text, like whatever we are having, like logs and like CSV files, and the data that whatever we had stored in the tabular format. So for all these instructions we are using the AWK. And coming to the AWK execution of a program. So mainly in this format we are having three types, like first one is AWK, pattern, action and file. So AWK is nothing but the keyword that we are using here, and pattern, here pattern is there. This is for the condition that whatever we are matching for. So that the condition if matches, the action will performs. If the condition is matches, then the action will be performs. And coming to the file here, that whatever the input commands that we are giving to represent the output. So this is the format for the execution of a AWK file. And then coming to the fields and records. So in the AWK file, we are having record. So that is nothing but a single line in a file. By default, it is having. And then coming to the field, it is a part of a record that can be separated by white spaces. Those are white spaces can be used to execute a program in particular format. And then coming to the fields, it can be accessed using $1 and $2 and so on, $n. So where $symbol not refers to the entire line. So if in case we are giving $symbol S0, it represents the entire line of a program. If not, it gives $symbol 1, it gives the single line, that means the first line of a program. If it is S2, that means $2, it refers second line of a program. So like that. If we gives this $symbol 0, then it gives, or else then it reads all the reference of the entire lines of a program. And coming to that, how the AWK handles records and files. So here we are taking an example like input file as R. So in this file we are taking name as one object and age as a second object and gender as the third object. By using these three, we are getting an output like name as Elise and age as 25, gender as female. And in the second one, we are having the second one like Bob as a name, 30 as a age and M as a gender here. So by categorizing these two, we are giving the input file. So how we can print this? By using AWK command, AWK print. So whatever the lines we are need to print S1 and S2. So here S1 belongs to these three. That means $1 belongs to name, age and gender, and $2 belongs to these three. So this is one of the code and this is one of the block of the code. So here how we will print. So all these things can be related in a file. So next file.txt. Next, whatever the name that we are given, age that we are given, and here both the names and ages are printing. So if we give the gender also, it will give the result as Elise 25 female, Bob 30 male. So here in the sense we are only given name and age, so that it will give the result as Elise 25 and Bob 30. So this is how we will handle the records and fields in the AWK. And coming to the AWK scripts. So here what is a script? So here script is a collection of commands that can be executed together. So coming to the format of the script, here we can write like AWK is a keyword that we already written, like whatever the formats that we are having. Next, F script is nothing but the file data, and then that should be denoted with .awk file. So coming to the example, so script.awk is the file name. From here the program will start awk open bracket $1 $2 we have to print, finally end. So print end of the file. So whatever the things that we are giving, or else whatever the things that we are induced or instructed, that can be print. After that it will print that end of the file. So print like S1 S2, that means $1 $2, and then end of the file. This is how the scripts will work. And then coming to the patterns, AWK patterns. So pattern, what is a pattern? Pattern is nothing but when the action will be executed, the pattern will execute. So coming to the regular expressions, we are having patterns, matches, lines containing of the pattern. And coming to the relational expressions are nothing but it will relate like whatever the examples we are treated here. $1 is equals to John, $2 greater than 30. So here the relation will shows by using relational expressions. And coming to the logical expressions, in the logical expressions we are having three types like and, or, and not. And built-in variables. Coming to the built-in variables, we are having two types of built-in variables like use nr record number and use nf number of record fields. So these are used to create a different conditions. And coming to the begin and end blocks, these actions are used to perform before and after processing the records. Next, custom field separators. So these custom field separators are used to specify the delimiter fields of delimiter for the fields, that whatever the data that we are using and returning. And coming to the actions performing in AWK. So here what is the action? So action is nothing but in the beginning of a video I told you that action is nothing but whatever the action that we need to perform in a particular program. That means whatever the task that we are performing. So here action defines that whatever we want to do when the pattern is matched. So if the pattern is matched, we will do the action. So then the action is enclosed with the flower brackets. So mainly common actions here is, first one is to print the statements. So if the action is matched, if the pattern is matched, it prints the statements that whatever we are having in a program. And then second one is modifying fields. If we need to do any modifications, then we have to modify the fields that we are having. Next, using variables in actions. In place of something like A, we can place by using X. In place of B, we can use Y. So we can change the variables in place of something actions. Next, control flow statements. So control flow statements is nothing but in which path we have to choose. Like previous programming languages that we already know, like control flow statements are nothing but that whatever the program that must be controlled by using control flow statements, like where the program has to be executed, where the program has to be break, where the program has to continue, and how many times the program has to run, and everything can be depends upon the control flow statements. And loops in actions. As we already know, looping is nothing but repetitive of a statements. So repetition is nothing but we need to perform a particular task n number of times until the condition satisfies, or else until the condition becomes false. And then coming to the built-in functions and actions. So whatever the built-in functions and actions that we are having, we need to perform. And next one is using print and printf for output formatting. That whatever the inputs that we are giving, depending upon those inputs we are getting the outputs. And then here example is there, print $1. $1 prints the first field. $0, as we already discussed before, $0 prints $0 denotes the, or else refers the entire record of a file. So here also print $0 is nothing but it prints the entire record, that whatever the program is having. If it is giving only $1, it gives the only first field, that means only first line of a program. And then if sum plus is equals to $1, how we will write sum is equals to sum plus $1. So that means whatever the data that we are having, that has to be sum along with the first line. So it gives the result as a sum for the first field. So these are the actions that we are going to perform in the AWK. And coming to the associative arrays in AWK. So here what is the associative array? Associative array is nothing but array with the string indices. So here in the sense we are having key value pair storage. So each key is having a corresponding value. By using those values only we are executing the programs itself. And coming to the dynamic size of a value. So the associative size of an array is not fixed, and it grows when the new key pair values are added. And then coming to the non-numeric keys. Non-numeric keys are nothing but the string values or else a symbol, strings or a symbols. So here string is nothing but a group of characters or either a single character. Everything can be considered as a string here. So here non-numeric keys are nothing but the strings or symbols. So how can be initialized here? Here we no need to declare or initialize anything in an associative array. So it is clearly automatically when you use first time. So coming to the example here, array of key is equals to value. So here we no need to assign a value here. It itself accesses it. So here array is the name of the array. That means here it is the name of the array, and key is the string or expression that is used to access or specific value in an array. That means how many number of values or else how many number of words or else how many number of terms that we are going to store in an array. And then value is nothing but it is used to store the given value. For example, array of 5 is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how the associative arrays will look into. And then string functions in AWK. So coming to the string functions. So what is a string here? As we already discussed, what is a string means? String is nothing but a group of characters. Like this is also a string, this is also a string. So this is we called as a string and this is also called as a string. So this is not a character, this is a string and this is a string. So in general we will take this is also a string and this is also a string. So coming to the string functions in AWK, we will discuss about string functions. First one, string length. So string length is nothing but always string length starts with 0 and index of a string is always string length starts with 1, index always starts with 0. That means string length minus 1. Okay. So here we are using strlen method. So here for finding a string length, we are using length of string. So for example, HELLO. Here the string length is, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hello string length is 5 here. And then coming to the substring of a string. So here substring, here we are having a syntax like string, start and length. So string here how we'll write, like for example we are considering hello as a string, a is equals to hello. How we'll form the substring, like substring of, so here substring already a string, here hello is a string, hi is another string here. We will start from here. So we will give the length of a string, so that is 3. So here how we will abstract the substring. So here if we abstract the same string, then means hello starting from 2, length is 5. So the output gives us substring hello, only 2 letters, that means EL, 5. This is how we'll deactivate the substring. And then coming to the index, as I already told you, index is equals to 0. Everywhere index is equals to 0, length is equals to 1. So index is used to finding the position of a string or else position of a particular character or else a particular letter. So that means, for example, hello is a word here, hello is a string here. So this is the 0th position, this is first position, this is second position, this is third position, and this is the 4th position here. So in the index of L or else in the index of in the index of O, so the index of O is nothing but 4. So if we say the length of a hello is 5, the index is always 4 because the index always starts with 0. And coming to the mathematical functions. Mathematical functions are nothing but which is used to provide built-in functions for performing different types of mathematical calculations. So here we are having square root, in general built-in functions like square root for finding the square root of a function, for finding the square root of x. Next, for finding the sine of x, that means sine of x. Next, cos of x, which is used to find the cosine of x. Next, log of x, which is used to find out the logarithm of x. So these are some of the mathematical functions. We are having so many mathematical functions, but in general we are going to learn only 4. That means square root, sine, cos and log. So square root is for finding the square root of x, sine is for used to finding the sine value of x, and cos is used to get the cosine value of x, and log x is used to know the logarithmic value of x. And then coming to the system commands in AWK. So these are the system commands that we are going to use in AWK. And first one, running system commands. So running system commands, which is used to execute the system commands using the system function. So this, by using the system function, it will execute the program. Coming to the example here. So AWK is a starting word that we have already written. Like from here the program will start system.echo $1. So echo is for used to print. Echo is for used to print the value. So $1 represents the first line of a program. So this will execute the echo command for the first field of each record. And coming to the using begin and end blocks. So here begin block is used to run before processing the input file. For example, here we are having AWK begin is used to start the file, and ending is used to end the lines of a program. So here print start of the file. So $1 is nothing but the first line which is used to print, and then end of the file is nothing but last line, that whatever we had written that has to be executed. And then AWK field separators. So here we are having field separators like fs. So which is used to define how the fields are to be separated. That is nothing but the white spaces. Coming to the example here, print $1, $2. So $1 represents the first line and $2 represents the second line of the program. So file.csv is nothing but the file name. So this sets the separator or comma to separate the different lines. For example, if we need to write in a next line, then we are using /n. In the previous programming languages, if we need 7 spaces, we are using /t. So in the same case, we are using field separator to separate the lines in the output lines. Next, pipeline commands. So pipelining commands are pipeline commands are used with the other commands. We have pipes. So here we are using AUX auxiliary word by using PS, and we are executing the program. So this extracts the user CPU usage and command name from the PS output. Built-in variables. So coming to the built-in variables, we are having number of records NR, and NF is for number of fields in the current period. So these are all can be included in a file. So these are all the operations that can be included in a file. For example, the lines of a code in hundreds of lines are there in the file. So that we have to read the number of records that whatever present in a folder. So in a folder we are having different types of files. So NR is used to read the number of records that whatever we are having. Next, NF is nothing but the number of fields in the current record. That means in a file, how many lines can be filled. Next, FS is nothing but the field separator. So whatever the lines that we are writing, so we need to separate it with this comma or something else. Next, OFS. OF is nothing but output field separator, and RS is nothing but the record separator. That means the entire record has to be shared with some other else. So these are the built-in variables that we are going to use in AWK. And next, practical applications in AWK. So these are used in text processing. So finally here, log file parsing. AWK can be used to analyze the server logs also. For example, print $1, $3. So $1 and $3 here we need to access the log of a file. So here by using or else by extracting the IP and the date of the time from the logging file. So here we are using $1 and $3. So coming to the summary and the conclusion, so AWK is a versatile and a powerful tool for text processing, and finally it allows us to if it allows us to extract efficient and efficient data, and which is used to manipulate number of times from the text files, and mainly it is used for the patterns and actions to automate the tasks, and it is having handling strings, and it is having mathematical operations, and it is having associative arrays, and by using or else by learning AWK, you will enhance the text processing capabilities in the Linux command line. Thank you. So, and these are the references where I collected the information from, like coming to the books we are having AWK programming language by Alfredo V. Hanno Brian W. Kenningen, that means AWS, AWK, Peter J. Weinberg. This is the definitive book on AWK, and written by the creators themselves, that those who had developed the AWK references, AWK patterns and all, they themselves written a book, and it covers all the syntaxes, and it covers all the features that, and it covers all the advanced uses of AWK in detail. And coming to the online, AWK manual is there, AWK GNU manual. So this is the official manual for the GWAWK, which is most widely used AWK implementation. It covers like syntax, commands, examples, and advanced functionality. And coming to the online programming, we are having the Udemy course, like AWK programming for beginners, in the Udemy course itself. Thank you.